The 2018 NFL Draft is over. Let's talk about some rookies and what impact they have in fantasy football. Hey, what's up? Come here. Come here. Oh, yeah. A little close. Yeah. You miss me? Because I miss you. We're going to go team by team and see what rookies I like, what impact they have. We'll even be talking about fantasy defenses. The site we're going to be looking at is Pro Football Focus. I really like this site. It's fresh. It's always has a different view and it's pretty accurate. Like, you'll never be perfect, but I like the grades. They watch film on every single player. And no, this video is not sponsored by PFF. We had a giveaway last year from PFF, which was awesome. They did sponsor one of my videos, so hopefully we can do something like that and I can give away some PFF subscriptions. That would be awesome. PFF, hope you're watching this. PFF went through every single NFL team one by one. We're going to be mostly focusing on fantasy impact, offensive rookies, fantasy defenses, players that will have impact mainly this year. So let's start off with the Bills. We're going team by team. And I won't be talking about some teams in depth if they don't have a lot of impact when it comes to fantasy or impact immediately this year. So the Bills. This is essentially a rebuild. They got rid of Tyrod Taylor. They don't have many weapons. I mean, they want to go young. They want to build for the future. And when I was talking to my buddy Mike, if you guys listen to the podcast, Mike Mattal, I was saying Josh Allen might slip. But if we had to pick one perfect place he'd go, it would have to be Buffalo. I really like this selection by the Bills. They're building for the future. I don't see Josh Allen starting at all this year. I think A.J. McCarron is the ideal bridge quarterback, but you never know. Maybe we see Josh Allen week 6, week 7. Who knows? But if I had to say one bridge quarterback that's going to start the entire year, I think I'd go with A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron, my #1 bridge quarterback. So they went with Josh Allen. I like this pick. Number 7 overall. And it's a lot of potential, a lot of risk. But like I said, they're building for the future. I like it a lot. Then they traded up to get Tremaine Edmonds. Probably the best linebacker in this year's draft. At least the safest one. I really like this pick. This is going to be great for their defense. Long term, they had some other good picks, but let's move on to the next team. So we're sticking in, I believe we're sticking in the same division here. So let's go with the Dolphins. Pretty good picks. I don't know why, but I was kind of hating on the Dolphins before the draft. And I don't really know why. I guess we all have a little bit of hater blood in us. But they did very well. Getting Minkah Fitzpatrick, number 11 overall. And this number right here is PFF's grade, I believe, for their college career. So Minkah Fitzpatrick, a safety. He can do a bunch of different things. He's very versatile. Now this is the pick I think that we're going to have to look closely at when it comes to fantasy and impact for the first year. Mike Gesicki, tight end. They got rid of Julius Thomas. They got rid of Jarvis Landry. So Mike Gesicki could both be used in the red zone, could both be used in the intermediate game, the short game, on third downs, possession receiver. You get the drift. And their coach, Adam Gase, he might want to use a tight end. I think he was pretty disappointed with Julius Thomas. He was hurt, then he didn't really pan out. Then he was hurt, then he didn't really pan out. And that's basically what happened to Julius Thomas. Ever since Peyton Manning had that one record-breaking year, Julius Thomas has been irrelevant. Complete one-year wonder and very injury-prone as well. So Mike Gesicki, if you can get this guy, it's always important to try to get a tight end later on, right? Last year it was Zach Ertz. I had Zach Ertz in one league. I won that league. The year before it was Travis Kelce. Julius Thomas, the one year I was talking about with Peyton Manning. I think Kyle Rudolph one year did really well. You always want to know that one tight end to get. Jordan Reed, that one year he did well, was like a 14th round pick or something, 16th round draft pick. Nobody really picked him. So Tyler Eifert as well, that 1 year where he didn't get injured. So it's so important to try to get that tight end. Easier said than done. But if Mike Gesicki slips to the mid to late rounds, I don't know where he's going or where he'll be ADP wise in fantasy. I really like that pick. I think he'll be able to contribute as a rookie. We've seen some rookie tight ends contribute last year, like Evan Ingram. It's going to be tough to match Evan Ingram's production, but I think Gesicki's the one guy that definitely has the most upside to give you fantasy points in 2018. Oh, before we go on to the next team, we gotta talk about Kalen Ballage. So, well, we have Frank Gore there, we have Drake, and now we have Ballage. It's gonna be kind of messy there. I think this is a running back situation you may want to stay away from, because I like Ballage. I think that he's going to be the running back to own. Also, he is a rookie. He does have some fan base. He will be the sexy pick. So with that being said, he'll probably be drafted a little bit earlier than you like in fantasy. And we all know in leagues, there's always one or two owners who just love rookies, who love the sexy pick. And Kalen Ballage might be that guy. A little bit more of a sleeper than the absolute sexy pick, you know, like he's not going to be that sexy, but he could. All it takes is one or two owners to draft him early, but if they don't and Kalen Ballage falls in the late rounds, I'm picking him up. I like him. A lot of upside, a lot of risk. That's why I like him as a flyer in fantasy. Moving on to the next team, New York Jets. Jet fans, I don't know, man. This is just, I don't know. It's just like the most boringest team to me. Just not excited about it. And that doesn't mean they suck. I'm not saying they suck. They don't suck. They surprised me. I think they surprised a lot of people last year. They played very well. And I know it's like the #1 excuse. They almost won all these games. But for a team that I had having the second worst or absolute worst record in the league, they did pretty good. They won some games, and they almost won some more games. So, how they do in the draft? I mean, they did okay. Other than, I mean, Sam Darnold's really the one pick that stands out. I don't think he'll play this year. I really do think Josh McCown is going to start for the Jets. We'll see what happens there. Sam Darnold is really good quarterback, though. Good draft pick. And you got to build for the future, man. Okay, who else we got? The New England Patriots. We all expected surprises. I think the one surprise that we all expected from the Patriots was that they draft a quarterback in the first round. Maybe a Lamar Jackson or something like that. They did not. But they still did really, really well. They got Isaiah Wynn, offensive tackle. They needed that. They also traded for an offensive tackle with the Niners. I like some of you guys. Hey, I read the comments, man. They're like, you guys got Jimmy G, so, you know, you had to give something back to Belichick. And I kind of agree with that. Belichick did them a solid by giving them Jimmy G for a discounted price. I mean, Jimmy G is essentially like a first-round draft pick. Like, if people knew he was this good, he'd be drafted early, let's say if he was a rookie, you know? And so they got two tackles, one from the Niners, one in the first round. Isaiah Wynn, as you can see, very high PFF rating. That was a great pick. Sony Michel, a bit of a surprise that he'll be filling in for that Dion Lewis role, catching a lot of passes, very explosive. He's just a fun running back to watch, and I have a strong gut feeling that this guy's going to be the main running back. He's going to be the running back to own in PPR leagues as far as New England running backs go. With that being said, I've always been wrong about the Patriots, and I'm not going to get burned again. As some of you guys may have seen last year, I drafted James White in a couple leagues, and I've looked foolish, okay? You guys were right. The haters were right about James White. James White wasn't terrible, but he probably wasn't worth the draft pick where I picked him. I picked him way too early. It's best to avoid all Patriot running backs. I think that's a smart, disciplined decision to make. And that's probably what I'm going to do here. Even though I love it. You got, who do we have there? The Dion Lewis is on the Titans, but okay, you got Sony Michel. You got Jeremy Hill, who we can say is not going to do much. He'll be in that Mike Gillislee role, which means he'll do nothing. Or he could be in the LeGarrette Blount role, which means he'll get a lot of touchdowns. So he'll be like the goal line back. You also have Rex Burkhead. They like to split him out wide. They like to use him in mismatches. I think they're just starting to develop a lot of chemistry, Burkhead and Brady. And they also still have James White. So crowded backfield, and we all know about Bellatrix. Belichick hates your fantasy running backs. So I'm drafting Julian Edelman on this team in PPR and calling it a day. I'm probably going to avoid Sony Michel. They also drafted a pretty good cornerback, good value pick here. They definitely needed to bolster the defense. They had some really good defense, good value defensive picks. Don't know too much about this guy, Juwan Bentley, I think his name is. But I believe this guy is more of a run stuffer, if I'm correct. Let me see what it says right here. Yeah, Juwan Bentley is a downhill thumper who posted the nation's top grade against the run at 95.0. That's pretty dang good. While ranking 4th in the draft class with a run stop percentage of 13.3, he has work to do in coverage and may be limited to early downs at the next level. So that's pretty good. We all know the Patriots needed to improve their defense. So that's some really, really good value draft picks. Who's this guy, the quarterback? They also took a quarterback in the 7th round. I don't know. I don't know much about this guy. Etling. Decent rating, decent grade. We'll see. He's just going to compete with Hoyer for that backup spot. It's like they're taking a flyer on a quarterback. What are you going to do? Moving on. Let's go to the Bengals. Scott's favorite team. Very nice. Quite possibly the most boring, definitely the most boring draft picks. This is the most boring team in the draft, especially considering, look how many people they picked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 draft picks, all boring, but they did address a lot of issues. They needed to improve their defense and their offensive line. Who did they got? I think they were targeting Ragnow, but the Lions swooped him one pick before, and they ended up with Billy Price. PFF basically says that Billy Price is very good. I don't know. Probably significantly worse than Ragnow. So the offensive line is still going to be an issue there. But we've seen O-lines improve in just 1 year. Look at the Rams. Remember the Patriots? They got destroyed by the Broncos when the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Von Miller just destroyed them in the playoffs. Then the next year they brought back the offensive line coach. Boom, their offensive line's good again. So it can happen. I don't see it happening. But at the very least, their offensive line should improve from last year, which was the worst offensive line, second worst offensive line, something like that. It was really bad. Cardinals, Seahawks offensive lines were pretty bad too. Moving on. Oh, my favorite team. The team that's going to definitely win a Super Bowl this year. The Cleveland Browns. Man, very good draft picks here. And PFF nailed it. Scout nailed it. Props to Scout. Baker Mayfield was the first draft pick. And all you guys out there, all you haters who were like, actually, I'm not even calling you haters. You guys were legitimately concerned. I like to joke. You guys legitimately thought that this was a joke, that we had Baker Mayfield #1, going #1 overall. It was not a joke. Both Scott and I believe Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback. And I think this is going to be a great fit. I think Tyrod Taylor is a good bridge quarterback. This is going to be awesome. Just imagine Baker Mayfield playing, guys. Like, he's got Jarvis Landry. He's got a young tight end Njoku. He's got Josh Gordon. He's got Duke Johnson. This is crazy. And now they drafted Nick Chubb too. So I think they did very well. Kind of weird. Most people were shocked by both the first two picks. I was only shocked by Denzel Ward. But just because I was shocked doesn't mean it wasn't a bad pick. A lot of people have Denzel Ward as the ultimate shutdown corner. A little bit small. Not the best against big wide receivers. But hey, Megatron's not playing anymore. But Denzel Ward is a #1 corner on a lot of draft boards by far. I like that pick. They obviously needed a corner. They obviously needed a quarterback. I probably would have got Saquon Barkley as the first pick. Maybe that's not the smart decision. Maybe that wouldn't be smart. I just like Saquon that much. But look at this, man. You got Nick Chubb, a good value pick right there. That's their 4th draft pick, Nick Chubb. Pretty good draft picks, though. They got the quarterback of the future. They got Denzel Ward. They got Austin Corbett. So their offensive line, their defense, and, of course, their quarterback. Now, this one I think Tyrod Taylor might start anywhere from 0 to 16 games. Like, I really don't know. I know that Tyrod Taylor is the starter, says Hugh Jackson. Everyone says this guy's the starter. You can never trust that, really. Like, we really don't know who's going to start day one. Definitely Tyrod Taylor's the starter now, but if Baker Mayfield starts playing really good and Tyrod Taylor looks like crap on the practice field, then Baker Mayfield's going to start. As far as dynasty, man, I think you got to look at Baker Mayfield. I think Tyrod Taylor is no more than a bridge quarterback. And I also like Tyrod Taylor. I'm going to be kind of experimenting. I think the quarterback position is very unique this year. You can do a lot of things. You can draft 2 quarterbacks. You can draft just 1 quarterback. And maybe even experiment drafting only in deeper leagues, Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor, which kind of sounds silly, but some leagues are set up much differently. Dual quarterback leagues, for instance, that may be a smart idea to do where you can't get any quarterback off the waiver wire, or if you have a deep bench spot or a best ball league. You know, I'm just, hey, throwing it out there, because I know when I say, hey, draft Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor, you're like, you're stupid. Well, I'm not stupid, because I just explained myself. In some leagues, some specialty leagues, I know some people watching right now play in 32 team leagues. Yes, 32 man leagues, 32 owners in leagues. That does exist. Read the comments. They're out there. 20 team leagues, dual quarterback leagues, best ball leagues. You think I don't know? I know. Next up, the Ravens. Love their draft picks. Just going to say it right now. Hayden Hurst, he's getting drafted in fantasy. I believe they traded down. Did they trade down to get Hayden Hurst? I forget. I think they traded down to get Hayden Hurst, 25 overall. Then they traded up to make, you know, my draft videos when we do the Couch League draft, they're so amazing. But the real NFL draft somehow always tries to show me up. And they did it again. They did it again with the Josh Allen weird offensive tweets, that news coming out hours before the draft, late night / early morning right before the draft. And then round 1 has to end with a boom. Ravens move up to get Lamar Jackson. I love this quarterback. I think that's a great pick at 32. Wow, and he's going to have some time to develop probably if they keep Flacco. I absolutely love it. They're thinking about the future and the present with these 2 picks. They needed a tight end. They got Hayden Hurst, and now they got Lamar Jackson. Orlando Brown, I think he could have been a first rounder if he didn't disappoint so much in the combine, and especially the combine. I think pro day he did a little bit better, but the dude's out here bench pressing like less than me, which is not good. I can't bench press that much at all. So it's pretty whack that all these little guys are bench pressing more than Orlando Brown. I don't know how much he weighs, but I know he weighs a lot, dude. Like he weighs, how much do you weigh, bro? 360 pounds? No, my God. 6'7", 360 pounds, and you can't bench press. Well, whatever. Okay, but anyway, they got good value for him if he can work out. I mean, it's pretty crazy he can't bench press that much, but we've seen it a lot. Guys who don't look physically incredible and don't do that great in certain combine drills are amazing on the field. So Orlando Brown, let's just say he's a second-round talent. They got him in the 3rd round. Great pick. And I believe 83 overall, that would be late in the 3rd round. So that's very good. Then they got another tight end. I don't know what's up with that, but you almost always need 3 tight ends on the roster who can play goal line, special teams, dual tight end packages. You always need three healthy tight ends when you play an NFL game. Moving on, we're gonna have some teams that this was a bad. I don't know about this, man. Terrell Edmonds, they shouldn't have went in the first round. Then you get James Washington. This pick I actually really like. James Washington, would he be comparable to Mike Wallace? I don't know. I need to go watch more film on this guy. But I really like this pick. I think it was a good value pick. Then they got Mason Rudolph, who I don't really like that much. Yeah. So these two were teammates. So I think that's why. And I mean, I think this is a good reason to get it. Like, these guys have a connection. They can make things happen down the field. But I just really didn't like these picks. I'm really sad that what happened to Shazier. He suffered that horrific, significant injury. And, I hope he's able to play one day. I mean, I hope he's healthy. That comes first, of course. Make sure he's able to walk, and have good mobility, and he's healthy. And I hope one day he can play in the NFL again. But who knows what's going to happen in that situation. I think that hit him hard, man. And they're kind of in a flux right now. The Steelers are a great team. But, I don't know what they're doing in this draft. And I don't know what's up. But anyway, I do like James Washington. Mason Rudolph, I don't like him that much, but Big Ben starting this year. Next team, who we got? The Colts. They actually did pretty good. Nothing intense, but this is the team that they need everything, man. They really need a lot of help. So I can't really. I mean, what'd you expect to do, right? The Colts, they start drafting, and now they're a good team. We knew that wasn't going to happen. Look, they got Quentin Nelson at number 6. This guy is amazing. He is so good. He's like the type of guy, kind of like Saquon Barkley. He has a very high floor and a high ceiling. Like, he's going to be a really, really good offensive lineman. This was not only the best player available, more than likely, but also huge need. You don't want people to hit Andrew Luck and get pressure easily, and the fastest way to get there is right down the middle, so Quentin Nelson will be playing guard. He's a good run blocker, excellent run blocker, and he's a really good pass protector too. I think the only knock on him, and I'm not even going to say it's a negative thing. He's just more of a big guy. That's all I'm going to put it. Like, he's not the most mobile guard, which to me isn't really, that's whatever. Like, it's not even really a negative. Like, you just have to know the type of player you got. He's like a real guard. He's an offensive guard. He's not a tackle. He's an offensive guard. Going to be doing some great run blocking. You're not going to get through him easily going down the middle. So absolutely love that pick. Darius Leonard, don't know much about him, but I heard he's a good linebacker, so that's better for their defense. Their defense sucks. Then they got another offensive lineman and a lot of pass rushers. Nyheim Hines, I don't know about that, but it's the 4th round. Blah, blah, blah. Ooh, Jordan Wilkins. This is a very high grade. A lot of running backs this draft, man. This is crazy. That's a high grade for a 5th round running back. Moving on to the next team. Jaguars. Okay, they make their defense better, and then they get DJ Shark, who is very fast. So this is scary. Their defense is even better than it was last year. They're the number 1 defense in fantasy. Texans, one of my sleeper teams. They traded up last year to get Watson, so they didn't have a lot of draft picks, not early draft picks, but they did good, man. They got a safety, make their defense better, and they got offensive linemen, make their O-line better. They don't really have a tight end. What's the only tight end they got is Ryan Griffin. I think CJ Fedorowicz. When we say CJF, I don't think he's on the team anymore. I think he's a free agent. So they got 2 tight ends back-to-back in round 3 and round 4. Let's see how they pan out. Kind of don't want to draft a tight end with Watson playing. Don't want to really draft a tight end on the Texans, and don't really want to draft a rookie tight end on the Texans. So don't know about these guys in fantasy. But hey, there's a waiver wire. The tight ends, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is a great draft pick, but Nothing really that concerns us in fantasy. Their defense should be better, but it's not somebody you probably not a defense you probably want to draft unless you're in a super deep league. Broncos, very excited about this team right here. Very, very excited. Just a great pick, man. Bradley Chubb at number 5. And I was just talking about this, I think, in the Facebook group, that you got Von Miller, okay, or like you got Khalil Mack, and it's very tough for those guys. Like, they're only human. I know they seem like they're more than human. They're machines. They're amazing. They're elite athletes. They're incredible, the best at their positions. But you need help. Like, you're only a defensive end. You can get double teamed. It's so tough to get double teamed every play. You need help. You need a little bit of coverage. And you need another guy on the other side, whether it be a interior defensive lineman or another, an outside linebacker rushing the pass. You need another edge rusher. Edge defender, whatever you want to call it. You need someone rushing the quarterback other than the one guy. So they got Von Miller. That year they won the Super Bowl, they had more than one guy. So they got Shane Ray this year. I think they still have to pick up his fifth. They have to decide to pick up that fifth-year option or not. I think Shane Ray is really good, but we haven't really seen it. He's been injured. We haven't really seen his full potential. So let's see if he pans out this year. Look, think about how scary this is. If Shane Ray pans out, he's good. And you have Bradley Chubb, we know he's good. And you got Von Miller, we know he's one of the best. That's going to be scary. And this is one of the most important things in defense. If you can get pressure on the quarterback, you will get sacks, you will get turnovers, you will get the quarterback rattled, okay? It's the most important thing when it comes to real life football defense and fantasy defenses, quarterback pressures. And getting Bradley Chubb is going to guarantee you're going to get more QB pressures. Courtland Sutton, decent pick. This is one I really like. And I don't know what's going to happen. I think he's going to be competing for the number 3 spot. Or I don't know, how often does Demarius and Emmanuel Sanders line up in the slot? So I don't know who's going to be playing slot. I don't think Courtland Sutton is, quote-unquote, a slot receiver. I don't know how that's going to work. But he is a rookie, so might want to avoid Courtland Sutton unless it's a deep league or later in the draft, one of your last draft picks. I mean, you already have Demarius and Emmanuel Sanders there. That's the number 1, number 2 receiving options. This pick I'm excited about, though. Royce Freeman, I think he'll do good. I think he'll be the starter day 1. I think that's bound to happen. I mean, C.J. Anderson isn't there. They have a couple other running backs the Broncos do that are pretty good, but I think Royce Freeman's gonna definitely be the starter eventually, if not day 1. Chargers, my other sleeper team. I love this team. They are in a tough division, though. They have somewhat of a tough schedule. One of the best value draft picks right here, Derwin James. This defense is going to be on fire. You're going to be able to get this pick late, fantasy football defense, super late. Remember last year, guys, I drafted the Jaguars in the second to last round, right before I drafted a kicker. Jaguars were available in all my leagues late in the draft, second to last round. I drafted the Jaguars. The Steelers were available. They had a good schedule in the beginning, and they had a really good defense, especially when Shazier was healthy. Now, we got the Chargers. Man, I'm telling you, you're going to be able to get this defense super late. You're going to be able to get the Texans defense super late, and they're only going to get better. Look at their first draft pick. They drafted an amazing defensive player. Second draft pick, drafted an edge rusher, USC. Oh my God. Third pick, a defensive lineman. Oh man. And the fourth pick, defense too. Fifth pick, offensive lineman. This is crazy, guys. This team's going to be good. Phillip Rivers, please be consistent. Don't be a doofus. If Phillip Rivers plays with that confidence, that energy, he always brings that. But if he plays with consistency, they don't turn the ball over. They make the easy throws. No stupid interceptions. No stupid throws. Play consistent. This team can go very far, and I absolutely love this fantasy defense. Whoever the kicker is going to be, Sturgis, probably not Roberto Aguirre. Whoever the kicker is going to be, hey, I like you too. the Chiefs. Very excited about this team. Didn't do much in the draft. I mean, compared to the other teams, just not that excited about that. They traded up last year to get their quarterback, and man, I'm excited about Mahomes. I would draft Mahomes in fantasy, whether it's Dynasty Keeper, Best Ball, or Standard. I'd draft Mahomes, and I think Mahomes is going to be the type of player that might go early, might go late, depending on what league you're in. That's what I think. I think it's going to be a lot of mixed draft picks. He's not going to be like the steady. Like Aaron Rodgers is always going to go early, always going to go as the #1 quarterback in every league, pretty much. Okay? I said pretty much, okay? Pat Mahomes, I don't know, man. He could go anywhere, but I'm very excited about this. As you can see, they addressed the defense. Probably going to avoid the Chiefs D this year. I think the division's too tough. Chiefs D could be good. They're well coached, but I don't know. I mean, definitely don't get them unless it's your second to last pick before a kicker, if you're going to draft them. We got to look at their Chiefs schedule. I mean, if you're going to draft a defense, you got to really look at the schedule. Remember, guys, if you draft a defense, you could just look at the first, like, 1 to 5 games or something. Look, I mean, they're playing the Chargers, the Steelers, Jimmy G. Like, I probably wouldn't even draft the Chiefs defense. Plenty of defenses to choose from, guys. So they addressed their defense. Raiders, very surprising draft picks here. Very, very surprising. But I got to say, I do like them. I didn't think they did a great job, but I do like them. Kolton Miller is really good. I think he's underrated. That's why they traded down. They got Kolton Miller. They got some more draft picks. They did a good job, man. So they got some linemen. They got some defensive players, offensive linemen, and some defensive players. And I think that's about it. Who's this guy? Johnny Townsend must be a killer punter. Drafted. They got Marquette King is over there in the Broncos. He's going to be booting the ball with that high altitude. What's this punter? This punter must be good, man. Townsend? Townsend. I didn't even talk about him. I don't know this guy. He must be a dope punter, though. But they did improve their team for sure. Not to mention now the Raiders got this is new look Raiders, man. They got a great head coach. They got Doug Martin. They still got Marshawn Lynch. They got Jordy Nelson, and they just traded Martavius Bryant with the Steelers. So that's pretty good, man. A lot of running, a lot of pounding the ball, a lot of play action, a lot of vertical threats with Martavius, Jordy, and Amari Cooper. Kind of like this, and I kind of like Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is going to be throwing the ball down the field, and we like that. You don't get points for, points per attempt, for pass attempt, points for completion in any league. I mean, some leagues, but you know what I'm saying. You get points for touchdowns. You get points for, big chunk plays, getting a bunch of yards, and that's what I like. I don't like dink and dunk quarterbacks. Okay, Dallas Cowboys, not really excited about this one either, but they did do some they did some good stuff. They did some good stuff. This guy Leighton Vander Esch, I hope I pronounced his name right. Really good linebacker. Should be really well in this modern day NFL where you need speed, you need to move laterally side to side. Then they got offensive linemen, and they're gonna need that, man. This was a good draft pick. This is the one where I had a big question mark about Michael Gallup. He seems really good. Like, I'm not saying that it's a good draft pick, and he's a good wide receiver, and he'll probably be playing sooner than later. He might be starting day one or bringing him along slowly. Like, he'll definitely be lining up and getting some targets either this year or next year. It's just in fantasy, I probably would avoid Michael Gallup. Even if you know he's going to be a starter, I think this is the type of offense that they're going to give the ball to Zeke a lot. They're going to be running the slowest offensive tempo, so that means less offensive plays. I mean, the more plays, the more chances you have of getting fantasy points. So they're going to be running the fewest amount of plays, controlling the clock, giving it to Zeke, kicking a lot of field goals, keeping the defense fresh, keeping the defense off the field. And Dak Prescott's going to be not throwing too many touchdowns, not going to be throwing a ton of yards, not going to be slinging the rock, not going to be slinging it around every single game. And I think he's going to be spreading it out. I don't see Cole Beasley, I don't see Michael Gallup being much better than any of these guys. You got Cole Beasley, you got Allen Hurns. I think every week it's going to change. I bet the first week, if the Cowboys have a great offense, one wide receiver is going to blow up, you're going to pick him up, then he's going to be irrelevant the rest of the year. That's the type of offense we're talking about. So that's why I probably will avoid Michael Gallup. And the tight end, man, the Eagles trolled them hard. They picked Dallas Goedert right before the Cowboys were about to pick, and that sucks for them. As Jason Witten just retired, like right before the draft started, right before day 2 or whatever it was. Speaking of the Eagles, they drafted Dallas Goedert right before the Cowboys were picking, and I'm pretty sure they were going to pick this tight end. Now, Dallas Goedert would definitely be a guy I would draft in fantasy if he didn't go to the Eagles, but with Zach Ertz there, no need to draft Goedert. I think they're going to use him, but very limited, only in dual tight end sets, which they'll probably have a lot of. But Zach Ertz is the tight end to own in Philly. Giants, very, very nice here. Saquon Barkley, look, you draft Saquon Barkley, the best player in the draft. He's going to be a stud. I mean, guys, come on. Saquon Barkley, this guy's like, he could be the next LT, could be the next Marshall Faulk. That's his upside. And I think he also has a high floor. Like, I think he's going to be really good. He's either going to be really good or he's going to be possibly a Hall of Famer, dare I say. And in PPR leagues, I'll probably do a rankings video here. I just want to do some, early rankings to get it out, entertainment, just to see what's going on, what I'm thinking of, and get your guys' feedback, top 10 players each position, something like that. And I think I'm going to have Saquon Barkley probably anywhere from a top 5 to a top 7 running back. And he can easily outperform that ranking. So anybody having him less than a top 7, especially in PPR, I think is crazy. I mean, come on, he's got to be in the top 7 when it's a PPR league. No way. Look, man, they bolster their O-line in the offseason before the draft. And then they get an absolute steal, first round talent, Will Hernandez in the second round. I mean, look at this PFF rating. My God. So now they went from having a really bad offensive line to probably a really good one. And my God, this is going to be out of control. What do you do if you're a defense? You have Evan Ingram one-on-one. You got Sterling Shepard one-on-one. You got Saquon Barkley as a mismatch. You got Odell Beckham, one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the league talent-wise. That's a mismatch. What are you gonna do? Like, how do you even defend this team? Eli Manning, been trash as of late. I think he'll have a huge bounce back. The man has won 2 Super Bowls. I think he's gonna be pumped. Just imagine if you're Eli Manning, right? Your team was a joke last year. It was a total failure. It was a total mess. You love playing football. Now you have these weapons. Oh my God. How excited, like how much more excited can Eli Manning possibly be? Yeah. Moving on to Washington. The defense is going to be okay. Their kicker is going to be okay. Blah, blah, blah. They did address some needs. Got some good value draft picks. And let's see where I'm the most excited. Darius Geis, running back, should be the starter day 1. Very, very good value draft pick. Absolutely love it. I don't know, guys. Let me know. I think he'll be better in standard leagues than in PPR, right? I mean, I just said Saquon Barkley's excellent in PPR. So, I mean, some people's going to be better in standard leagues. Not saying that guy sucks in a PPR. Just saying he's going to be better if it's standard or maybe half PPR compared to a full PPR. And guys can catch, but, he's not no Saquon Barkley, though. Bills did well in this draft. Roquan Smith, linebacker with tons of upside. This guy's just very athletic. Let's see, offensive lineman, another weapon for Trubisky. You know, you really want to build around Trubisky. I love the moves they're making, and I describe the moves the Bears are making as bold. Okay, they're not afraid to. They're probably going to use Tariq Cohen more this year. Then they bring a similar player in Taylor Gabriel. They're going to probably use him. Then you have Allen Robinson. I really like what they're doing. I think it's a bit risky, though. It can fall flat, and I think that's what you got to do, because the goal is to build around your young quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, build around his strengths, and build for the future and try to win a Super Bowl. It's not about being safe and finishing 8-8. Okay, and I like the moves they're making. I think that's what they're aiming for, the future, and to build around Trubisky. And, man, swing for the fences. Why not? And that's what they did here. These are some pretty good picks. Detroit Lions, very good. This was picking a running back was, I don't know, this was crazy. But Kerryon Johnson, man, I want to go back and watch more film on him. He is really good, and he should beat out Amir Abdullah for that role, whatever. I mean, he should. Amir Abdullah on the depth chart, then this guy, Kerryon Johnson on the depth chart. He should be ahead of Amir Abdullah on the depth chart. Riddick should be nothing more than a third down back, pass catching back. And LeGarrette Blount, how long is he going to be there? 1 year or something? So I'm sure LeGarrette Blount's gonna get the ball a good amount. So this is a situation you may want to avoid. But in dynasty leagues, man, you might be able to get this guy much later. You don't want to start him. Maybe you don't even start him this year unless there's some injuries. But I like this, man. They're building up the offensive line. Look at Frank Ragnow. Look at this. Look at this PFF score, man. What a great center to have on your squad. This was an excellent pick. And Kerryon Johnson, hey, running back, but I like it. You got him in the second round. That's another excellent pick. They did pretty good. Ooh, a fullback too. Don't see many fullbacks out there. This team kind of crushed it. They did a very good job. The Packers. They addressed the defense. Look at that. Drafted a cornerback, then another cornerback. And these two cornerbacks, man, they're really good. Josh Jackson slipped tremendously. He was supposed to go like late first round, maybe even mid to late first round probably. And they got him round 2. A lot of people have him ranked really high. Maybe like the second best cornerback, something like that. You know, definitely like a top 3 corner in this year's draft. So they got 2 really good cornerbacks. I love it, man. And they should both be good fits on the Packers. I think the defense here is a sleeper D. But when I say sleeper D, like not one I'd pick like in a 10-team league. But if you're in a super deep league, or for whatever reason you're in a specialty league where you draft 2 defenses, I think the Packers are going to be an absolute steal. Don't think their defense is going to be good. Just saying it's going to be much better than last year. And probably it's going to be much better than people think it will be. They'll be underrated. Okay, wow, they got how many draft picks? Jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 draft picks. They did good. They did good. What's PFF giving them? Elite! Overall grade, elite. Vikings. Vikings are a great team. Could be the best team in the NFL. At least like definitely top 5 NFL. A top 5 team in the NFL. Man, defense getting better. O-line getting better. I love this. Moving on. The Buccaneers. Very disappointing last year. I love what they did. They got JPP in the offseason. Then they got Vita Vea. Absolutely love this guy. He is such a beast, man. You know, he's got some stuff to learn. And I hate the term. I think the term raw is used too much. Like, he's got a lot of talent, a lot of physical skills, but needs to learn some techniques. I think that's overused too much. Sure, I mean, Vita Vea, he's a rookie. He's strong. He has a lot to learn, but should be starter day 1. Should make impact day 1, week 1. I really like Vita Vea. I love this bold pick, and it's an excellent fit too. You guys got JPP, Vita Vea. This defensive line has turned from being garbage, complete trash, to being very good with tons of upside. And look, man, he's got some good teachers. He got JPP and Gerald McCoy in that locker room to teach this guy what's up. You know, he's going to be a beast, man. This is awesome. And I also love Ronald Jones. A bit of a surprise to me they picked him. Like, it was bold. Number 38 overall, so that's early in the second round. But, oh, man, is he good. Ronald Jones is a type of running back that is absolutely suited for this modern-day NFL. Should be, I mean, he's going to be starter, should be drafted quite high. He is a running back. You know, he's going to be catching passes, going to be doing everything, big playability. I absolutely love it. Only worry is their offensive line. Jameis Winston messing up drives. You know, we need the drives to continue. You know, we need to sustain drives. We need to not turn the ball over. We need a little bit of accuracy in Mr. Winston for Ronald Jones to succeed. But Ronald Jones is going to help out with that, definitely. We saw Christian McCaffrey get drafted super early last year for the Panthers. You know, they changed a lot. They changed how that offense operated, and I think it really helped them. Even when Christian McCaffrey wasn't getting the ball, he was a decoy. And Ronald Jones, man, I mean, come on, this guy is just freaking amazing. He'll have games where he gets well over 200 yards rushing and receiving. He'll have those type of games. He'll break off a couple big runs, catch a couple screen passes and take it to the house. Bucs have an offensive line. Let's see the Bucs offensive line. Let's see if PFF got it here. Bucs O-line needs some, definitely not the best. Yeah, they do need some help. Like, it's not terrible, but I don't really like it. So, offensive line, if they can play decent and Winston can be consistent, I love Ronald Jones, man. Problem is, Ronald Jones is probably going to be a sexy pick, especially in PPR leagues. Falcons did pretty good, man. Actually, I think the Falcons did really well. Calvin Ridley got to be the perfect wide receiver to pair up with Julio Jones. Got Julio Jones here, Calvin Ridley here. That's quite nasty. Isaiah Oliver was one of my favorite corners going into this draft. I think one of the best value, you know, doing mock drafts and just seeing where he'd go. Probably second round. I think is one of the best value cornerbacks you can get. We saw other cornerbacks like Josh Jackson fall, but Isaiah Oliver late in the second round. That's nearly at the end of the second round. Incredible, man. That's an amazing pick. So you got your wide receiver. That's going to help out the offense tremendously. Then you have Isaiah Oliver. Should be a starter day one, I think. See, the thing is, I don't know how good he'll be the first year, but he's definitely a good cornerback. I compare him to someone like Richard Sherman. And I know some people are like, oh, you know, you're just throwing awesome names out there. But what, Richard Sherman was what, like third round draft pick? Yeah, so I mean, when you talk about it, in the fifth round, sorry, Richard Sherman was a fifth round draft pick. So that's why I'm throwing his name out here. He was very severely underrated in drafts, and man, I'm sure Harbaugh probably would have wanted to draft him like in the third round if he could, you know, if they could redo that draft again. So man, Richard Sherman, fifth round. Yeah, I think it's a very, coming out of college, I think it's a very similar, very fair comparison. Isaiah Oliver comparing him to Sherman. Other than that, man, they did pretty well. But I really love these two picks. As far as fantasy, I don't know. Calvin Ridley may be too sexy for me. Maybe drafted a little too early. Don't know about taking him. Falcons defense. I think the Falcons have a tough schedule. I'm looking at it right now. Let's bring this up. Yeah, Falcons have a pretty tough. This will load. No, about mid. Where is this? Yeah, middle of the pack. So their schedule is okay, not too difficult, not too easy. So Falcons D a little bit of a sleeper. Probably not drafting him though in fantasy still. The Saints, man, here's where the word raw is used too much with someone like Marcus Davenport. Let me take a sip of it. I love Marcus Davenport. Man, I think this was an amazing pick. And I tweeted that out, and people were like, "What, for all the, for moving up and giving up all that much, was it?" I was like, you know what, probably not worth the value. But at the same time, it's like, if you believe in a guy, Marcus Davenport, there's a good chance he won't be there where the Saints were, which was what, like, they were a good team. They went really far in the playoffs. So they probably had a much later pick. I forgot what it was. I mean, I don't know, 20, 25 or something, whatever. So they traded up to get Marcus Davenport. I love it, man, because the Saints are already they're a great team. They have a great defense, great offense, but they need to get a little bit better. And Marcus Davenport's really going to help. If he can start day one, which I think he will be, everyone's like, he's raw. I think he'll start day one, or he'll at least start playing, get some snaps day one, week one. He'll contribute. Then they got a wide receiver. They needed some depth at wide receiver. I think this guy's he's a speedster, right? Is that right? Traquan, okay. But they made good use of it by selecting UCF's Traquan Smith at wide receiver. Smith is outstanding deep down the field and underneath. And okay, so I remember. Okay, so he's got really good on deep passes. Excellent right there, 70.8%. Very, very outstanding right there. And I think they still got Ginn. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure I would have heard if they don't have Ginn anymore, but just making sure. I'm pretty sure they still have Ginn. Yeah, I mean, wow. They have a lot of depth at the wide receiver position. I almost forgot they got Cam Rayers. So they got Michael Thomas, absolute stud, very reliable, just very consistent. Then they have Cam Meredith, very undervalued receiver. Ted Ginn, who's amazing, great, elite speed. And now they just added more depth. Traquan Smith, I think there's not a lot of pressure on him. He probably won't start day one. He'll learn, and he'll be used in some packages, when the wide receivers need to rest. When Ted Ginn's been running a ton of go routes and needs to take a quick breather, boom, you put in Traquan Smith, runs a go route. Man, I love it. Amazing. They got him round 3. So these are all, I like these picks a lot because they're good fits for the Saints. Moving on, the Panthers. This could be a really good draft pick in fantasy, guys. DJ Moore. I know a lot of you laughed, said, DJ Moore's not going before Calvin Ridley. No way. Well, yes, it happened. The Panthers selected DJ Moore. Good fit for what Cam Newton likes to do, I think. And I don't know. I mean, he's probably going to be very inconsistent. Cam Newton's a great fantasy quarterback, but it's a lot because of the deep balls he throws, the big plays, and of course the plays he makes on the run and the touchdowns he gets, the rushing touchdowns he gets. So DJ Moore, you got Christian McCaffrey, Greg Olsen. I think he's kind of going down. Like, he's not as good as he used to be, but still going to be one of the primary guys there. Funchess as well. And then you got DJ Moore. So a guy that's going to be very inconsistent, but probably good to have as a wide receiver 4, let's say, on your fantasy squad. And they drafted 2 cornerbacks. Definitely helped the team. Definitely needed that. So good pick by the Panthers. Not amazing, but they did pretty well. Average. PFF says average. Here we go. My squad right here. Woo! Yeah, I love it. A little bit surprised, okay? I was a little surprised, but I absolutely love the picks here. Mike McGlinchey, I didn't think they were going to get him. I thought they were going Tremaine Edmonds. So they got Mike McGlinchey. So basically, Reuben Foster's accuser is retracting the statement. What the Niners are saying is that, he's probably not going to get anything significant, Reuben Foster, any significant consequences, no jail time. So they believe in that. They also probably believe that the accusations were bogus. And I'm not going to, that's not what we do. I'm not trying to get into that. I'm just saying that, it went from Reuben Foster being out of the NFL and being in prison for like 4+ years to now being like, he may not get probation. I don't know. But it looks like he's going to be okay. So they didn't get Tremaine Edmonds, probably best linebacker, at least overall linebacker, more traditional linebacker in this year's draft. And I thought they were going to get him, but they got Mike McGlinchey, the best tackle, offensive tackle of this year's draft. I got to like that. Look, man, where's my Niners at? Niners offensive line, I didn't believe this till I looked at it, is good. It's good. Look at this. They got Staley, if he can stay healthy. They got McGlinchey. Look how good Garoppolo's going to do, man. Absolutely love it. Now that they got a D-line, they got an O-line, and the defense is improving. And I'm not being biased, guys. And just the Niners, I mean, they were just a zero last year. They were zero. They weren't even like, they were not even horrible, not even trash, not even, I mean, they just didn't exist. They were just like, let's keep building for the future. Then they got Jimmy G, and everything changed. They got a great front office, got a great coach, and now, man, things are looking up. They got Richard Sherman, bit of a question mark, but man, if he pans out, I love that. And it's just all incentivized contracts, so not much risk as far as the contract goes. So I love where this team's headed. They got Jerick McKinnon, great running back for PPR. And this second pick was a huge surprise to me, but I did some more research, and I do like it. I'm still surprised. Don't know if it was a great value pick, but this is why I like it, guys. I know, okay, Dante Pettis, excellent return man. I mean, elite return man. This guy's really, really good there. Why you take a return man round 2? And I'm not even saying this is a good value draft pick, but what I am saying, the reason I do like it, is I believe Kyle Shanahan has a plan for this guy. Possibly to be used in a role similar to Taylor Gabriel. Definitely going to be returning. Definitely going to be a return man. I don't know, man. He's a rookie. He may not even start anytime soon. May not even start this year. I don't know, but he is a wide receiver. I believe Shanahan has a plan for him. Otherwise, they wouldn't have drafted him round 2. Time will tell if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but in Shanahan, we trust. Moving on, the Cardinals. Oh, man. This team's not very good. Don't like Josh Rosen that much. I mean, they got him at 10, though, so that's a plus. Christian Kirk, he's pretty good. I mean, I don't know, man. This team's not really... doesn't really excite me. All I got to say about Chase Edmonds is this is an amazing handcuff to probably have. If David Johnson were to go down or something like that, you definitely want to own Chase Edmonds in fantasy. Christian Kirk, though, I think he's a slot. I think he plays at the slot a lot. So I don't know what's going to happen, but they have very little depth at wide receivers, so Christian Kirk may be starting week 1. And he'll be learning from the great Larry Fitzgerald, so that's a plus. Rams, they got Goff. Not really any impact here. They bolstered their offensive line, a little bit of their defense. That's pretty good. But hey, man, they got Goff. They got Brandon Cooks. They got Todd Gurley. Enough said. We know what the Rams are. They don't need to get much better, but they made some pretty good draft picks here. Made the team a little bit better. Seahawks, bit of a surprise, and I love Rashad Penny. And this guy just moving up and up on the draft boards, and he was taken in the first round. Way ahead of guys. I think, was this the second running back taken overall? I wish their offensive line was better than I draft Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny is definitely going to be starting day 1. If he can block, then if he can pass pro, then I think he'll be an every down back for the Seahawks. They love Rashad Penny, and man, he might be a 3-down back. Of course, they got Shaquem Griffin. That's an exciting story right there. I think he was a round 4 guy, and they got him round 5, so that's a good value pick right there. Tons of upside. Oh, that's it. All right, guys, hope this video wasn't too long. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we're about at an hour, but just want to do a video like this, switch it up a bit. Hopefully it was helpful. And I just want to give some quick shout outs. Like I said, this video is not sponsored. I don't have any partnerships on this video, but I want to shout out some YouTube channels that I like. Of course, we have Pro Football Focus here. They're making some good quality content. It's very different than I've seen any other people do it. They don't put a lot of film. I haven't seen a lot of film, like highlight reels and so on and so forth on their channel, but they do everything else. I really like Pro Football Focus. Of course, is a subscription-based website, but they just started hopping on the YouTubes and really working hard on it, and I like them. Want to shout them out. Want to shout out the homie Samuel Gold. Hit him up on Twitter, and hopefully I'll be doing a collab with this guy. He breaks down film very good. I think he breaks down film for SB Nation too. Very, very good channel, guys. Make sure you check this out if you guys like to see breakdowns of players, especially college players, as you can see here. Brett Coleman basically does the same thing. This guy is like more of like, it's a little bit more of film, like you're watching like NFL films, you know, like he really sets the mood. The music's amazing, the intro's amazing, gets you hyped, gets you juiced, it really sucks you in. It's really good, man. I really enjoy Brett Coleman's channel as well. So make sure you guys check out those channels. I'll leave links below in the description. Again, thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate you guys. Hit that couch icon over here to the side of me, wherever it is, to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment below, let me know what's up. I'll probably be doing another video. I did way too early rankings, so I'm going to do very early rankings. And I'll see you guys on the next video.